What's up, Ranger fans, and welcome back to another video on my channel. As always, I'm Jay, and today, guys, I'm continuing my series of fixing the Power Ranger films with part 2, where I'm actually going to tell you guys the fixes that Hasbro needs to do to make sure that they have a successful and awesome Power Rangers film. And again, before we get into anything major, if you dig this video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, that way you never miss a moment of my content. So without further ado, let's get into part 2 of fixing the Power Ranger films. So the first thing in fixing the Power Rangers films is, again, like I said, the setting. Angel Grove was a nice green, upbeat place. It had a lot going for it. Nice, lush areas where the Power Rangers would actually fight putties and monsters alike. They'd have the different parts of the town, and then it'd grow into a bigger city and everything, near a bay area, so definitely something that you want to focus in. Plus, in the other films, if it's near water, that's good for the Dragon Zord, because the Dragon Sword sleeps in the sea. Just saying. Next is the tone, guys, and like I said in the last video, it was a little too dark for its own good, a little too depressing. Not everyone is having an existential crisis. Give the characters their personalities back. Instead of focusing on changing them up and making them all depressed and shit, go back to the show again. What was it that made the characters awesome? And guys, if you give all these characters their personalities back, I'm telling you, it will only make the film even better because we'll be able to connect to everybody. Of course, you have to have Zordon and Alpha, and I thought that they were okay in the last film. Bryan Cranston was definitely the standout as Zordon. As far as Bulk and Skull, yeah, I think that they could be fit into the film. But next, what the film should also focus on is the villains. Guys, where was Rita's entourage? It would be awesome to see them all be shown in a more contemporary setting. Don't give me a big golden turd, and on top of that, why don't you give us more villains? When you give us these other villains, it develops a little bit more challenging things for the Power Rangers to work through. I mean, all the villains that they fought in the show, and you can't even give me one? That's ridiculous. And that brings us to the action. One of the problems was that they didn't morph early on in the film, and they need to. You need to have them morph and fight different threats. Putty fights and monster fights are key. Don't forget to include them, and actually give us more than just one. But also, make sure you're giving us some sweet Dinosaur action and mechs fighting monsters. Hasbro, I know you guys got the funds to pull this together. Don't skimp out. And finally, guys, the arguably biggest aspect of the Power Rangers is the Power Rangers themselves. So when we're talking about costumes, make the actual costumes living armor. Think The Guyver meets Spawn film from 1997. Just picture it where the Power Rangers are actually trying to morph in an awesome badass sequence, and when they morph, the actual forms of the suits envelop them and create this blinding, glowing, powerful explosion and light. And then at the very end, they actually manifest a kind of mechanical wrapping around of the actual helmets and the visors. That would be so sick. Not to mention that, but can we get some weapons in the mix? I mean, the only person that had a power sword or anything was Jason, and on top of that, they didn't have their blasters, and for God's sake, remake some of the themes and the music from the show into the film. So guys, did I miss anything? Let me know down below in the comments, and again guys, if you like this video, click like, subscribe, and hit that bell, that way you never miss a moment of my content. And guys, keep an eye out for part 3 of the Fixing the Power Rangers series, which I delve into what specific plots I would like to see play out inside of the Power Rangers films. And guys, spoiler warning, it's going to be dealing with the trilogy and a Ranger that we haven't seen on the big screen before. Just saying. But anyway, guys, thank you so much again for joining me. And until next time, guys, I'm Jay. Take care. Bye.